Hey guys, into the indie here, and today I'll be talking about, well, one of the characters that I'm planning on putting into the indie, of course, with that being Bendy. Yes, from Bendy in the Ink Machine. The reason why I chose this character to be the first is pretty simple. He's the most unique that I have to do. Basically, for each character, I try to put something in that's a bit unique. Like, Shovel Knight gets costumes that change up how he works, based around the other knights. Bendy, he's a whole nother weapon, as Bendy doesn't fight in his home games. In fact, the most you get is Nightmare Run, where you lob items in the background. But Bendy was fairly recent, so including him was pretty simple. And his 1930s art style and look, along with Cuphead, which is another planned character, it'll be fun, honestly. But honestly, something that I've honestly, being honest, if I said honestly way too much, I'm sorry. I'm still doing non-scripted. Yeah. But one of the issues I've already seen with making Bendy a reality, well, in the game, making Bendy a character in the game, is that he has what I like to call the Mickey look. And no, this is not the Ink Bendy from Bendy in the Ink Machine. Instead, he's cartoon Bendy, more akin to the one in Nightmare Run. But what I mean by Mickey, or whatever I called it, sorry, I forgot. By that I mean that there's a distinctive trait on the head that gives him a specific silhouette that's always kept no matter what the camera angle is. Which is another reason why they chose for animations, for old 1930s animations, to have their characters be animals. That way their silhouette would be very distinct. Having something like bunny ears or Mickey's ears would make you stand out of the crowd. Bendy, on the other hand, has his horns, which, as shown with the animations immediately has sent out, showing Joey Drew Studios animations. Bendy also has this, with his horns being the distinct trait that seemingly rotates with every camera shot. Although, I am still working on actually getting a computer to work on the project. I already thought the way through it, which is two models. One of which being the main head, and the other being the horn, which I could just program in the software where the horns always face the camera. That way, no matter what you do, or what camera angle you're at, the horns always face you. But I'll also set it to where it stays perpendicular to the surface that I put on the head for, well, it should just be there. That way, it doesn't just skid off the head or unnecessarily, shows gaps. I'm trying to make it as seamless as possible. But anyways, his ability is Ink Collection, where killing enemies, attacking enemies, things like that, similar to the Darkness in Spectre Knight, gets you globs of ink, which is energy of the monster that you're taking from. When you reach certain percentage, that's when you reach certain milestones like 10%, 15%, things like that, your stats change. Mainly your range and attack power and things like that. 0% Bendy is kind of bad, as his attacks, being simple punches and kicks, don't travel that far. But once it's at 25%, no, 50%, yeah, 50%, he becomes an Ink Bendy from Bendy Ink Machine, where all of his attacks are buffed and yeah, but as a downside, he collects ink 2 times the speed. It sounds like an upside, but it isn't, as you want to maximize the amount of time in that form rather than the 100% form, where you become Beast Bendy, as I call it. Other people call it Monster Bendy, other Demon Bendy, things like that. I just call it Monster Bendy. But I'm thinking about giving it a name like Goliath or things like that. Basically, while in that state and ink bendy state, your ink supply slowly drains. With Monster Bendy, you only have for about 20 seconds. You only have for about 10 seconds before all your ink is depleted, and the only way to regain it is by getting an item from like a chest that actually refills your ink. Yes, it removes the feature of, gaining it from enemies. That way you don't just kill everything for an endless supply of torture for the enemies. But yeah, with depleting ink, there's also certain things like basically some flood abilities from Mario Sunshine, like the ability to ram through enemies or spray ink into the enemy's eyes, which will blind them, which will of course lower their accuracy and things like that. Yeah, I think Bendy would be a very unique character, which is why I decided to talk about him first. Hopefully, if the project actually gets a good amount, and I start actually developing the characters to how I want them to be, that's when I'll start approaching the creators to see if they would be willing to let me use their IP for a non-profit game. Yeah. So, hopefully, I'll try to make this a bi-weekly or weekly, or just monthly, installment. And next episode will be Shovel Knight. Yeah. Shovel Knight would be a fun character to talk about anyways. If you like this video and want to see more content, be sure to click that subscribe button and hit that little bell, so you'll get notified of all of my latest content. But yeah, there's not that much, honestly. But also leave a like and comment if you'd like, or comment if you have an idea you want to share with me, or an indie character you really want to see in. Which, no, Undertale characters will not get a rap. At most, they'd be a boss. As I don't even see Frisk, the character with logically the most versatile moveset, as having enough potential for a character. I mean, the most you could do is Mercy, but how do you implement it in an action RPG? Yes, that's what I'm planning to make into the indie. Yeah. This is gonna be fun. Anyways. This is Into the Indie. Signing out. Hopefully, I'll see you next week. And farewell. Yeah, I'm trying to keep it to 10 minutes. Yay.